around it is growing globally as well as locally. And if you consider even within India, it has percolated down to states as well as district level. Unfortunately, the governance has to transform fundamentally at the local level to take into account what climate change means and how the policies need to be implemented. So there needs to be a fundamental capacity building in terms of knowledge, but also in terms of implementation of policies to meet some of these obligations and deadlines. The thing about climate change is there is enough compelling evidence in the literature to show that women are disproportionately more impacted by climate change, and hence they need to be taken into account at the local level, whether it concerns adaptation strategy or mitigation. This has to be integrated with concepts of gender budgeting. But at the same time, this has to go beyond WCD. This has to go beyond a handful of ministries which until now have been looking at this, because implementing climate change policies that particularly look at impact on women will require for us to consider department after department within each state. So I think this will need an integration. This will need a convergence across all the departments within each state of the country. In terms of transformation of governance that we talk about, fundamentally, there are benchmarks being developed, there are indicators that are meant to be attained, certain benchmarks. And that has to be incorporated at the local level. So when we say capacity building within local government, it has to do with, first of all, documenting it, educating the local officials on the implementation details. And of course, that requires certain amount of implementation research itself at the state level. Then also evaluating. I think a considerable amount of effort has to go into evaluation of a lot of these localized policies. And I suppose the best way for local governments to gain that capacity is to work closely with institutes, research, collaborations that are fundamentally putting in a lot of resource and human resources into, such as the WRI.